beautiful people, to Dribs and Drabs, the No Topic podcast where we talk a bit of this, bit of that. Today, we have an absolute animal of a human, one of the hardest working blokes I know, shredded, yummy. It's Dan Natura. Here he is. Welcome to the pod, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mate.
I feel honoured to be on your podcast. So, you have such an awesome setup. Sick to be here.
Oh, mate, it's so good to have you. How's your day been so far? You done 4 sessions already?
Only 3 sessions this morning.
Only 3?
Only 3, yeah. So we had boxing in the morning, judo, and then had a 14K pack march run. So just had.
I hate your
pack
guts. I'm gonna hate his guts by the end of this day.
So impressive. So this stuff you're doing, weighted runs and all that, is this like a new little challenge thing you've got going on? What's this, bro?
Yeah, so so I've actually got a big announcement coming up this week. But there's a charity race that I'm doing. Well, it's a military oriented pack marching race. So the Americans call it a rucking race, where you run with a pack on, 35 pounds, so 17 kilos. So not very heavy by Australian standards.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for a marathon distance. And it's
Shit.
It's called the Bataan Memorial Death March, and it's named after the Bataan Death March, which was, if my memory serves me correctly, 9th of April 1942. In yeah, which I think that's correct. I know it's 1942. I know it's April. But
I bet
it was,
you're right.
Yeah, just roll with it. But it was at the Bataan Death March. That's where tens of thousands of American and Filipino soldiers were surrendered to the Japanese forces, and they were forced to march about 60 miles through the Philippine jungle heat, and thousands died on it. So it was a pretty horrific event in the war in World War II, and they run this Bataan Memorial Death March each year in New Mexico, USA. So it's in the deserts there, through the sands and whatnot. It's a pretty grueling test, and I'm not very talented at many things. Can't do burpees to save myself. Can't squat. Can't I always get smoked and all those things in the military. But the one thing I can do well is pack march and run with weight on my back.
Sure.
And so I was like, right, I saw this and I was like, I reckon I'm in with a good shot here. But I didn't want to just do it, by myself or for myself. I thought there's a really good opportunity to raise some money here. And a few years ago, you might remember there was 2023. There was a helicopter crash with the Australian Defence Force on exercise up north, and 4 soldiers lost their lives, and one of whom was a good mate of mine, Dan Lyon, and his family, when they went through that ordeal, reached out to his wife, Caitlin, and said, hey, was anyone that helped you through that process? And, in terms of charity or support and things like that. And she said, the Commando Welfare Trust have been exceptionally helpful. And just the other week, she said, because of their support, their son is able to go to private school this year, starting last week, I believe. And so I said, right, well, going to raise money for that. So for the Commando Welfare Trust. So I partner with them. There's going to be a video released later this week just documenting what it's about and the preparation for that. And so hoping to raise about $30,000 for that and go to much needed funds to support Special Forces veterans and the families of them that are injured or killed in training incidents or operations.
Wow, that's awesome. We'll definitely have that in the show notes for everyone if they want to go donate to that. That'd be great.
I don't want to
so if you're dropping this out, that info at the end of this week, this pod won't be out for a few weeks, hey? So
yeah, perfect. Yeah. Well, it'll be just in time because the race is in 2 months' time, so still got time to prepare for it and everything. And but the training's going well because part of that is making sure that I do it. Do it justice and prepare right. And I think I have a good opportunity to perform quite well in it. So I'm looking to put on a good show so that we can raise some good funds for it.
That's awesome. Absolutely. So how many kilometres is it, sorry?
So it's 42K, so a marathon, yep.
And you're going to wear how much weight on you? 17
kilos on the back, and you've got to run in uniform. So if you see...
No way.
Yeah. So if you
long and longs, is it?
Yeah, so all the camo pants, our DPCUs and our boots and whatnot. So if you see me running up early mornings along hedges and stuff like that in my get-up, there's a few people that might think, what's this wanker doing?
Oh, no.
It's for a good cause. So, that's the intent.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
So you got to do it in boots.
Yeah. So we use, whenever we're doing timed running stuff, we use these boots called NFSs, which I'm led to believe means Need for Speed.
Yeah, you'd be yelling that, eh?
Yeah, but they're good. They're like lightweight boots, and and they're not. I mean, it's not ideal for running, but it's the best of.
I was going to say, so what like kind of prep goes into that for your feet and stuff like that if you know you're going to be, running 40 plus Ks in boots?
Yeah, well, they used to do this. I think there's two schools of thoughts. You chuck your feet in, I forget what the term is or what it's called, but it's this stuff that makes your feet go purple and makes your toenails go black and everything like that, and everyone reckons it hardens up. Condy's crystals, that's what it's called, and they reckon it makes your feet harder so they can, withstand it all. And everyone tries to do that to make them a bit tougher. But it's just about gradual adaptation. The same with all the training that I do, just gradually adapting your body to further distances and more weight and things like that. If you go 0 to 100 too quick, you'll get injured and get hurt. So.
Yeah, that sounds like you'd be harming your feet before you even get started. Yeah. Making your toenails black.
Yeah, 100%. And you're walking out, people think you've been to you're some kind of out there kind of dude with, all the painted, especially in the military. Like they're like, what's he doing in the military?
Of course. That was actually, I'm glad you brought it up. That was one big thing I wanted to talk to you about today was gradual adaptation. I know you talk about that a lot. Have you heard him talk about this much, Beers?
I've heard a lot of stuff, but my brain is so bad that I've watched so many videos and I'll just go save them and go back and stuff. I'm so bad at remembering the stuff.
Because I've found personally, even the last few months, I've kind of implemented that a lot myself, and I've found just recovery so much better. I'm not getting injured because I don't know, I'd watch Never Back Down or one movie and then the next day I'm like, all right, I'm running, I'm going to the gym.
I'm doing it all.
You're doing it all every day, and then 3 days later you're like, I can't walk. Do you know what I mean? You try to do way too much.
The next week.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, is that hard starting out where you might not be doing a lot, but you need to tell yourself, this is all I can do this week. And then next week, I'll run a little bit further or I'll add one run in and stuff like that.
100%. So, I'm a very big proponent of natural nutrition and remaining natural. Steroids and performance enhancers are massive at the moment, and the angle I'm trying to show people is that you can do this all naturally if you apply the correct principles. And one of the principles is gradual adaptation. So, the principles I live by with all of my trainings: natural nutrition, gradual adaptation, intensity variation, and just adequate programming and exercise selection. So, how do you stack your workouts during the week in a way that they're working together as opposed to diverging from whatever goal you're working towards? And so with the gradual adaptation, when I first started out, it really stemmed from the military and also just through life growing up, always moving around. You were always in different spots, learning new sports, but you still wanted to do some of the old sports and whatnot. Yeah. And so I wanted to do it all, but I kept getting injured because I didn't know how to blend it all together. Yeah. But I just knew I wanted to do all these things. And, you watch movies like that and you get amped up. You watch David Goggins out doing all these things and you're like, hell, I want to do that. And, but if you do that and you haven't adapted your body to that, then you're inevitably going to get injured. And so that's what I faced early on. I just kept getting injured and I was fatigued and there was no rhyme or reason to what I was doing. And to be honest, I couldn't afford to go to uni, and I went to uni through the Defence Force, but it's very much what they want you to study with the military. And it's not really necessarily what you want to study, right? And so I couldn't afford to go to uni and do these big, sports science type degrees and stuff like that. And so I just said, well, you don't need to pay a uni to teach you to read and read all the different research that's out there and whatnot. So I applied that. I just read a bunch of research up on it and then applied it to myself, tested it out, refined it, made mistakes, refined it again. And so the gradual adaptation part, and this is what a lot of running coaches teach, and particularly what I teach some of my clients with their running coaching or with their running, is to push at no more than 10% per week. So if one week you go out for a 5K run, the next week the max you'll go for the next one is 5 to 6, 5.5 to 6K run. And the idea is that you're just gradually adding that stimulus, and that's a way to do it in a way that doesn't induce injury or over fatigue and things like this.
So if you're running 5s, you're not going to go try run 10 the next run and stuff like that.
Exactly. Someone will go, the furthest I ran was 5Ks last week, and I went out and run a 21K, and it's you'll be able to get through that, but if you consistently do that, something's going to break eventually.
You're going to break down.
Yeah. So it's just gradually adapting your body to the different stimulus that's happening, and you can do that over an extended period of time. I think the issue people run into is that they expect to do too much too soon, or they want to do too much too soon, which I was very much guilty of and ran into so many injuries over the time.
Yeah, because I feel like it's hard. There's so much information out there and so many people saying what's enough and what's too much. And I feel like you will hear some people go, oh, that's too much, you need to rest and recovery is so important. And then I just think you're a prime example of the human body's so crazy what limits you can fucking push it to.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Big
some
time.
people that are like, 4 days of weights a week and one run, that's like plenty. And it's like, some people can do, 20 times that in a week and they're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and that's
Yeah.
part of, what I do on my socials and whatnot is, I'm training minimum about 20 times a week. And so it's averaging about 3 sessions a day. And then, Wednesday this week I had 5 sessions in one of the days. And the point isn't necessarily like, I'm not suggesting that that's optimal to be training 5 times a day. It's more to show what's possible if you apply the right principles. The ideal thing for me is say 3 sessions a day, just to just to pursue a number of different goals all at once, right? Like as in, if you're pursuing running goals and strength goals, and I use that as the foundation to support whatever skills-based endeavors I'm doing, whether it not be judo, boxing, all these different races and events. But back to your point about the rest days as well, I think there is an issue in the fitness industry where people follow very dogmatic rules about how to do things. Someone says one thing and it's like, okay, that's the way to do it. And I completely disagree with that, just because I think there's so many ways to skin a cat. You just got to figure out what works best for you. My way might not be best for the next person,
Right.
and their way might not be best for me. It's just working out, because everyone's got different nuances and circumstances that apply to them. And so it's like working out how to adapt your body to your needs and to your goals for where you're going. And so the rest day thing is a prime example. Everyone harps on this idea of a rest day. It's like, oh, you need a rest day every single week. And I completely disagree with that as well. I'm not suggesting people shouldn't take rest. I'm a huge proponent of rest and recovery. Like, we absolutely need that.
Yeah.
But again, it's a dogmatic approach to say, oh, we need 24 hours of complete inactivity, because it's not as if as soon as you hit the 25th hour, all of a sudden you're 100% again and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's not like charging an iPhone.
No,
is it?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now I'm good to go now. I've hit that 25th hour, but at the 23rd hour, I couldn't possibly train. So it's
so true when you break it down like that. It's like why would you be better off now than you were 90 minutes ago?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the point is that you might need 36 hours to recover. You know, it's like everything's different depending on the stimulus you've applied during the week. And so for myself with the rest days, it's merely showing that if you program correctly, you can train every single day. And in fact, some form of low intensity movement on a rest day is actually good for you.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't have to be like hell intense type thing. Hey, like from what I gather, and correct me if I'm wrong, but did you have 0 rest days last year? You went the whole year or something?
Yeah, I've gone about 3 years without a rest day.
Holy
3
shit.
years without a rest
Yeah,
day.
but over 3 years
crazy.
now. So, because people asked me that last year, and I was like trying to calculate it, and I was like, oh, probably about 3 years. And then obviously we're now in 2026, so it's longer than 3 years now. But
Nah. You haven't missed one day?
No.
So I imagine you must not drink at all.
Yeah,
do
I
you?
don't drink.
Yeah, don't drink at all.
You couldn't
So
do
not
that if
one
you're drinking.
No, that's what I mean.
Ah.
Yeah, no way.
don't get me wrong, I used to, and I would even I've never been a big drinker, but when I was drinking, like at weddings and stuff like that and birthdays, I'd have a drink, and as I've got older, I've just sort of been like, whatever.
Yeah.
But the rest day thing again is just because people say to me, there's no way you're training 100% intensity every single session, and I'm like, you're absolutely right. I'm not.
Yeah.
Because if we're training at 100% intensity, how's our body recovering? Because the central nervous system
training 3 times a day every day.
Exactly. So it's like, knowing when to vary the intensity so that you can recover. So, I'll only do 2 to 3 sessions a week that are max intensity. The rest are moderate to low intensity so that the body can recover.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I was kind of thinking that before you got here. I was just like, how does he do this? But that makes a lot more sense. What is your rest and recovery like? What does that look like?
Well, I think a lot of people think of rest and recovery is something that you do after the fact. So you do an exercise, then you rest and recover. But I think of it as like sort of a holistic system. And this is what I try to teach my clients as well, is that it comes down to what you're putting into your body throughout the week. Are you hitting your macronutrient target for optimal energy availability throughout the week? Are you, fueling with enough protein to let your muscles recover and grow? Are you getting in healthy fats to support your hormones? Are you having enough carbs to support your training? So all of that factor, and a lot of the natural nutrition, people might think that's a bit of like Instagram influencer wank, but I genuinely believe in it, because a lot of the natural nutrition we consume, or the natural foods we consume, lead to a reduction in inflammation in our body, whereas a lot of the artificial or highly processed foods lead to greater inflammation in the body. So naturally, if you're putting less of that stuff in your body, there's less inflammation to deal with. But if you're putting things that actually support inflammation reduction, then you're going to be better off, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then
diet's very important.
diet's massive, right?
Yeah.
And then the gradual adaptation piece, which we spoke about, is massive as well in terms of how your body's able to adapt to the different training stimulus that you're applying. The intensity variation, making sure that you're adapting that intensity throughout the week so that you can adequately recover for the next week. So thinking about it in weeks and months as opposed to days. I'm trying to recover from this day. And forward planning those deloads as well, and how you program. Like, I'm not doing 3 leg sessions back to back to back to back. It's like programming throughout the week so that my body can recover. If I'm doing legs one day, then I might be training a different body part the next day so that I can, like, that's not getting smashed again. And leading to, systemic, fatigue throughout my body. And then from a recovery standpoint, I actually just editing a reel this morning about that I'm putting out tonight. But
Oh, cool.
it's just about, like, people think about like ice baths and saunas and things like that.
I was going to ask you about that.
Well, they're the 1%ers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's like if you have everything else dialed in, sure. But like if you don't have your sleep dialed in, which I'm the worst for that. I'm just at the moment working too much. I'm not getting enough sleep. But
Yeah. I was
You're
gonna
in the
ask you that
hustle
too.
year, brother. You're in the hustle
exactly.
year.
Trying to get everything stumped up and discharged from the military and whatnot. But like, if you get sleep is number one. Sleep is king. If you're getting that, like, it's almost half your worries sorted. And then the nutrition is the next, I'd say. Deloads into your sessions. Even things like people take the piss out of breathing and stuff like that, and getting like breathing exercises and whatnot. But if you think about it with your cortisol levels, if you can lower and reduce your cortisol levels in your body, because your body recovers when it's in its most calm state, or it optimizes recovery when it's in its calm state. If you can get your cortisol levels lower, then you can recover better. So things like that, that's where you can touch on things like sauna and ice baths, because it's much more deliberate breathing and deliberate targeted type recovery work. So
Yeah.
if that sort of...
Yeah, so with, like, I think Biz was probably going to ask this anyway. So with ice baths and saunas, they're not, like, probably as important as most people would think.
I think if you have everything else dialed in, they're great.
Yeah.
But if
you're just using that as, like, I'm going to the sauna, but I'm sleeping like shit and eating average, it's not
exactly.
gonna...
It's like trying to put a Band-Aid on an arterial bleed.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've not addressed the source of the bleeding. Like, maybe address that first and then, sure, put a Band-Aid over it. But like, so look, I am a firm believer in saunas and ice baths, but I wouldn't put it at the top of my priority list if I haven't got those other things sorted first.
Yeah. And sleep would be number one, huh?
Yeah, sleep is king.
Well, while we're sort of on the diet topic, like, one thing I definitely struggle with on my fitness journey personally is because I love food so much. And over the last sort of since meeting you, I guess, and learning a bit off you and dialing in the diet a lot more, I've noticed that how big it is, or still having my struggles with it on a week-to-week basis, definitely. Is there anything you implement into your brain that helps you to eat so well every single week? Or like, I don't know, like maybe like a routine thing that you do? Or is it like is there a saying that motivates you to keep eating so healthy? Like,
that's a really good question, because it's sort of something that I have grappled with myself in terms of understanding why people struggle with it. Because I think, in this world where I'm a huge fan of David Goggins, but like, just saying to people like, just change, just do this. It's like, it's not as simple as that. We're talking about trying to habit build here. And there's so many nuances to this. But when it comes to the diet and the nutrition, I always think about what's the intent that I'm trying to achieve with what I'm doing. And that permeates across everything, like whether it be my training or my eating or my recovery, whatever it may be. It's like, what's the intent I'm trying to achieve so that I'm applying a logical approach to it. And so with the diet and with the nutrition, it was really just about, again, like, I'm trying to optimize 3 key things: the performance, long-term health, and obviously the physique. I wanted a nice physique as well. And so if you can combine those 3 things, what's the best way to do that? Okay, in my opinion, natural nutrition. And so then it was like, okay, I went down the route of chicken, broccoli, and rice. And it was like, after a while, I was like, man, this tastes like ass.
Yeah.
Like
I can't be doing this 3 times a day, 4 times a day.
Legit. And I went through, because I was pursuing rugby earlier in my early 20s, and I blew up to about 120 kilos for that. And I was eating, whenever I'd have like my airman come into the office to talk to me and be like, hey boss, and I'd have like a pile of chicken and rice there. like sitting there eating it, and every single time.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I just needed the calories in to get to that. But eventually I got to a point where I started pursuing like long distance running and stuff like that, and then the martial arts, and I wanted to lean up, and I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this where it actually tastes good, because you're not incentivizing eating like that if it feels like a chore, right?
Oh, 100%.
So I think it's like, if we take a step to the left for a second and talk about habits, it's like, how do you inculcate and sort of implement new habits? It's like you need to replace it, or you need to have a reward system associated with that new habit.
Yes.
Right? Like, what are you implementing to incentivize you doing that thing? Because right now, the way you're currently doing, or the way you're eating, the way you're training, there's some sort of reward system you have in your brain that's making you want to do it that way. But if it's not optimized for what you want to do, like it's just a bad habit that you've gained, then you need to replace it with a reward system that is inherently like linked to a good habit or a better habit. And so for myself, it was like, okay, if the intent is to eat in this way, in a healthier way, then I need to work out how to make it tasty so that the reward is that I actually enjoy eating this food.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started exploring things like, including bone broth with, I'd cook up a big thing of veggies, and instead of just putting it in there, I'd find some good healthy spices, like not ones overloaded with all these preservatives and additives, and pour in the spices, pour in the bone broth, make it taste actually sensational.
How good are spices and herbs and
No.
shit now?
A bit of paprika, bro.
Yeah.
Mate,
I'm a huge fan of the Italiano herbiture. 100%.
dude, if you saw how much I pile on this food, you'd be like, is that healthy? Like,
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just, you're trying to make it is healthy, and you are trying to make it as tasty as you can so that there's a reward system there to eat like that. And the other thing I'd say, whilst I'm on this topic without just derailing the convo completely, but the trying to, whenever we all have busy lives, right? Like super, super busy lives and so many things going on. But if you can reduce the decision-making fatigue in your life,
Yes.
you can optimize like all of the things you're doing to support whatever goals and where you're going, right? So like trying to, if you get home from a long day at work and you don't have something prepared there for you, then you're going to go for the easiest option. And if the easiest option is some KFC or something like that, like it's when you're mentally drained, your battery's real low, you're just going to go for that easy option, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a number of ways like to look at it, but it's like, what's the intent I'm trying to achieve? How do I make this tasty? And then how do I reduce the decision-making fatigue so that this becomes my go-to? And you inculcate that new habit. So,
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's a great answer.
what does a day of eating look like for you?
So I've eaten the same thing Monday to Friday for years.
Yeah. You're like Kaz, bro.
No, I'm the same.
Okay.
So every like 3 months or 6 months, I'll like maybe change it slightly or something like that. But
Yep.
it'll be 4 or 5 meals a day that for months on end.
Yeah.
Yeah, months.
Because
on
you
end.
make a good meal that you like.
Well,
like,
yeah, because I used to like, even at my old job, I remember every day, I think at the time I was probably on like kangaroo and sweet potato and rice or something like
on
that.
the kangaroo train.
Yeah, yeah. And then people would be like, I remember everyone at work like, dude, you've eaten that every day for like 3 months. Like, surely you're sick of it? And I'm like, if I was sick of it, I'd stop fucking making it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
just here whipping myself, being like, I've got to
Yeah.
eat this.
Do you reckon that's like a bloke thing? Like, I swear blokes love a good same lunch. Hey?
Oh, I just don't think we care as much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I couldn't care. Like,
I do like a bit of the lunches, especially like the 3 month sort of thing, and then I get
Yeah.
over it. Like
Yeah.
there was one period there at work, I thought I was like mad healthy and shit. I was just making rice crackers with avo and salt and pepper, I think, and tomato every day at Smoko.
oh, is this
And
when
Josh
you weren't
in-
eating meat?
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
vegan.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was being
How are you
healthy.
getting your
and stuff.
protein?
He wasn't.
That's
out.
Yeah, probably not. I wasn't full into the diet side of things
Yeah.
then. I just thought I was like just being healthy, and cutting and
Dude, that's a real good point though. Like, because when I first started in my own health and fitness journey, like if someone asked me like what healthy food was, I'd point at a banana or an apple and go, yeah, that's healthy food. Like,
yeah.
but until you actually understand again what the intent is behind what you're trying to achieve, it's like,
Yeah.
sure,
Well, that's
you
pretty
might be
much
eating
the
it.
main reason the biz stopped, started
Yeah.
eating meat again was mainly for those like
Yeah, I'm
purposes, right?
very intrigued on the fitness journey, and like I've already put on 4 kgs,
Yeah,
and
there
I
you
don't
go.
feel fat, so it's
You
positive.
don't look it.
Thank
Yeah.
you, kind sir. Appreciate that. Still don't have my shirt off at boxing, but we'll
Any
get there
day
with you,
now.
brother.
We'll get
But yeah, it's definitely been an eye-opening sort of experience just getting into the meat and like being like, whoa,
Yeah, well, I think,
like I feel like I'm lifting heavier. Feel like my muscles are growing quicker than they ever have, and I feel like it's like, yeah, I don't know. It also might be different for everybody or whatever, but the meat is feeling good for me.
Starting
right
to
now.
click a little
So,
bit, like it's
yeah,
all starting to like.
but that
100%.
piece about like feel is really important, because there's two schools, or there's two sort of pillars within that, and it's qualitative data and quantitative data. And the quantitative data meaning, what are the numbers telling me around how I'm eating? Like, am I hitting my macronutrient targets? What quantities of food do I need in order to hit those targets? Then qualitative being like, okay, when I eat this food, how does it actually make me feel? And that's what the big one that I think a lot of people are missing. And again, not to try and plug like, my clients, but like as in, with my clients, the question that I ask them is like, how do you feel? Are you experiencing bloating? How are you sleeping? Like when you're sleeping, are you waking up feeling refreshed, or do you wake up a number of times during the night?
Yeah.
And that, okay, you're not sleeping well. Let's look at what you're eating before you go to bed. Oh, okay, let's change this around. And then lo and behold, the next week they'll be like, mate, my sleep's so much better. And I'm like, yeah.
So
big
just because
part.
something's like looks good on paper, diet wise, doesn't mean it's going to make you specifically feel good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, like my way of eating, there might be ingredients within that doesn't work for them. And they need to test that out for themselves to be like, well, actually, my body doesn't respond well to broccolini, so I'm going to remove that from my diet.
And sub that out for something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, Dan's a versatile athlete.
That's what
you
I call
claim
it,
yourself,
yeah.
Yeah.
And he obviously started an Instagram last year, and it's really taken off, and he's doing really well. And I've watched the whole journey; it's been awesome. But he shares all these diet videos, recipes, a whole lot of knowledge. So feel free to chuck him a follow. But jumping on that, I did see you share something about like kiwi fruit somehow helps with your sleep if you eat it just before bed. Is that an actual like what? What's the go with that?
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome. Little hack, yeah.
and it comes down to, because people talk about like if it fits your macros, like as in like, oh, we just need to hit the macro target. And I feel like that's, as a baseline for people just getting into nutrition, sure, that's a good starting point. But if we're actually looking at how to optimize our health overall, we're looking at all the micronutrients that we get from natural whole foods. And so for things like kiwi fruit, which have tryptophan in it and a number of other sort of vitamins and minerals that support our sleep.
Right.
It's not like, I'm not saying it's like the same as just smacking a bunch of melatonin tablets or something like that.
Or
but
some magnesium,
just like,
like
yeah,
eat a kiwi
glycinate or
fruit.
something.
yeah,
Eat a kiwi fruit, knocks you out.
yeah, exactly.
A couple kiwis for it.
But I consistently have them like 2 every night, and it definitely helps my sleep.
That's
definitely helps
awesome.
with sleep.
So it's got the right minerals and stuff that you need.
To encourage better sleep, yeah.
Do you have like a certain time you think we should have dinner before heading to sleep that like optimizes a good sleep as well? Like I do hear about that sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of schools of thought with the meal timing.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that comes down to nuance with different people's circumstances, because it's one thing for me to sit here and go, oh, you should be having it at this time, but does that factor in, if they have kids, if they're working late, if they're training late, and these types of things, right? But as a whole, the way I look at it is not so much like, oh, you need to eat it by 7 o'clock, because it like depends on when you go to bed. But what I would recommend is that you leave enough time for it to sort of digest a little before you go to bed, so you're not going to bed on a full stomach, right? So even if you have it and you go for some nights or a number of nights, I'll go for a 10 to 15 minute walk after I have that last meal, just to lower the blood sugars a little bit and I guess digest that food before I go to bed. So I think there's no hard and fast rule on it, but you do want to make sure that you're not going to bed on a full stomach. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's such like I always feel like such a self-explanatory one for some people though. Like, have you ever eaten like KFC or food and then you just go lay down straight away? You feel like shit.
100%.
Like I guarantee like 10 out of 10 people feel like shit doing
I
that.
feel like KFC, you feel like shit just standing up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's just say a normal dinner then. Say you have a big feed and then you just go lay down straight away. Like you're not feeling good.
No.
No.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's something I sort of like struggle with, because when I was brought up, we'd have late dinners all the time, bro. 7:30 to 8, because mumsy maybe go home a little bit later. And then you're eating at like 8, 9 naturally. And when I moved out, we'd just cook at that time or whatever. And then like since learning more and more about it, it's like, the earlier, just let it settle a bit, the better. So I'm trying to implement that earlier dinner.
Yeah, well, I mean, you even look at, what is it, the Italians, they eat very late. Right?
Yes.
And who's to say their way is wrong? It's like, I'm sure though that they're still up walking around after their dinner to help digest the food a bit better. And it just comes down to nuance, like what your specific circumstances work out to be for you.
Yeah, 100%. Well, going off the diet chat that we were just going off, the kind man himself has brought us a little bit of his banana bread. A little recipe. Is it superhuman?
It's I can't even say it now.
All right, let's give it a crack.
Give it a go. Tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. If it tastes like shit, you can tell me.
It's nice and cold.
Try not to eat in the mic, but
yeah.
ASMR.
yeah, I'm good at that with the fillet of fish back in the day. That's good.
That's what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon? Mm-hmm. That's
Dude, that's really good.
That is delicious.
Little dash of cinnamon.
And a beautiful texture as well. Not dry.
No sugar.
No sugar?
Well, we got honey in there, but we got no refined processed sugar.
Do you do like use dates for cooking as
Mate,
well
I
for sugar?
love dates.
Yeah.
I haven't been on a date myself in a while, but I love dates.
That's really yum, bro. I'll be taming the rest of mine after. I'll be chewing too much. Mate, with the schedule you have, like we touched on before, this bloke trains 3 to 4 times a day. I don't understand it. He's the last year worked a full-time job as well. So he's mixing in, he's close to 6, we'll tell the boss, 8 hours a day. But the 6 to 8, whatever you want to call it, mixed in with these training sessions, mate. To me, I'm like, obviously not everyday humans are all going to be able to do that or whatever, but you've obviously been brought up in a way where your mindset is just awesome, bro. And you're so motivated. Where do you get this from?
Yeah. Sorry. Just clear that banana bread out of my throat.
You're all good, bro.
Yeah. Also, so growing up, it was like I had a really good childhood. I had a really, really good childhood. Dad was in the army for 23 years. Mum was a vet nurse and then a primary school teacher. So, middle income family, but great upbringing. But I went to like 5 or 6 different primary schools before settling in Canungra, Queensland, in the Gold Coast hinterland there.
Yeah.
And it was like my brother and I were raised in a pretty disciplined household because Dad was RSM of Int Battalion, so Regimental Sergeant Major of Intelligence.
That sounds important.
Yeah, so it's the most senior position a soldier can have within their corps. And so you're the pinnacle of discipline as well as a soldier within that. And so my uncle was in for I think nearly 40 years. My granddad was in, so it was always in the blood. But that was like it was a pretty strict household growing up. You had to earn everything. My dad is and was a great dad, but you had to earn everything and praise wasn't just given.
Yeah.
Like when I was under 15s footy, like I was a string bean, like 6'5" at 15, but I was 65, 70 kilos or something like.
Oh.
So I was like, not a big kid at all. And I won the best forward award and I was super stoked because I'd put so much effort in because that was my first year of rugby league. Was probably trying to impress Dad because I came from soccer and Dad always told me that soccer was for pansies.
Yeah, he's not fucking wrong.
I enjoyed soccer, but then I wanted to prove myself and I wanted to go over rugby league, and so I went over rugby league and I won the best forward award. Went up to accept the trophy, was super stoked. Came down, I was like, Dad, look at this, look what I won. And he goes, you didn't deserve that.
Oh.
And he points out the kid that deserved it. And I was like,
no way.
yeah. And I was like, could have just said good job.
That is brutal.
And he wasn't trying to be a jerk or anything like that.
Nah.
It was just like, he was very objective and came from that military background where it was like very honest feedback.
His honest opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no, you didn't perform to the standard of that kid there.
Yeah.
And so like, I think that kind of mentality always had me wanting to do better, wanting to improve and wanting to figure stuff out and prove to myself that I am who I thought I was.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, that was a big one growing up. And then I think as well as if you're moving around a lot and, you're going from, say, Queensland where soccer and rugby league are very big, and then you're going to Victoria where AFL is king. It's like you're trying all these different sports and you're having to adapt to new friend groups and you're having to sort of be a bit of a chameleon in terms of like still managing to fit in and whatnot. And sport as a kid is one way that you do that, right? Like it's one way that if you go to a new school and you haven't got any mates, well, you better be bloody good at sport because that'll get you mates pretty quick.
Yeah.
100%. That was like my
100%.
core memories growing up, man. Like my favourite memories was like going to cricket every weekend with my best friends.
Yeah, with your buddies, right?
And I think that's one reason why we probably didn't struggle, during school to make friends that easy because we're all like so into sport and stuff like that. Whereas I imagine it would be harder if you just, you don't want to play sport and do stuff like that, and then you get moved to a new suburb or city.
100%.
Even these days, like traveling and stuff, I feel like if you just join a sports team, you're a part of a community and like it's the best way to make friends.
Yeah.
If you move to a
Quick
town,
friends.
you know no one.
You have brothers for
You're
life,
in.
day one.
One season with the boys, you're
it's
on.
like shared hardship in a way, right? Like you're going through some form of struggle together, which is like, playing a tough team or a tough opponent, and you're going through that together. And
camaraderie.
I think that's 100%. And that's why like people in the military make such good friendships because it's shared hardship. Some of the best mates I've made is because I was lying in the dirt on the ground next to them, having to get up for an early morning PT session, which we did not want to do, but you did next to your mates. And it's like,
You've gone through that.
I couldn't think
together.
of brotherhood like more crazy than that.
Yeah.
And that would be it at its peak.
Mate,
I
you'd
reckon.
be lifelong friends. No
Yeah.
matter how long between visits, you'd just be like, we've done some shit.
Yeah, especially if you're
100%.
literally in the fucking trenches together.
Literally. We all quote it, but you literally have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not me personally. I don't want to over embellish what I've done.
No.
I get what you mean, though. But
Yeah.
Fake trenches, maybe.
yeah. But it's,
Training trenches.
Training trenches, yeah.
it's true though. Like blokes that have been through stuff, or men and women that have been through stuff together and shared those hardships, it just forms really strong bonds, right?
Yeah. Where were we going with that? we just ducked off for a little
Yeah,
bit.
mate, I often do that.
Well, we were on your dad topic and how you got the mindset.
Yeah, I guess it's just
Yeah, you covered that.
constant improvement. Right?
Yes, yeah.
and not giving praise easily, but earning the praise, right? Which is a very military mindset thing.
Yeah.
And so I think we're so used to instant gratification in today's society. We're so used to that, right? But there's so much to be gained from that delayed gratification of having to earn something and work for it.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is, are you ever satisfied then? Because like I always feel like I get something or I work towards something, I attain it, or I fail it, and then I work out how to do it better next time, and then I attain it. But once I've attained it, it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, I feel like you're better off never being fully satisfied though anyway, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, because I think you learn so much through that process as well, right? Like, and you achieve so much more if you're doing that. But, I don't know. I've actually got like a full circle moment I did this hike in Hawaii, right? Like, so last year, it was 2022. 2020, I'll go back even further. 2018. I've been to Hawaii a few times.
Spot.
Yeah, it's a spot. I was in Hawaii and I was climbing up the Stairway to Heaven, if you'd heard of that. It's
crazy. It's one of the world's craziest hikes, really.
It's just this cool like World War II staircase that goes up into the Kolau mountain range on Oahu. And
Was it closed at this time?
yes, and there's a security guard down there getting paid about $15 an hour, so he's not getting paid to be a hero. So you walk right past him and he goes, "Hey, you're not allowed up there," and you're like, "Cheers, bud," and you keep going.
And that's it.
Yeah. And you basically only see Aussies on the hike. Like
Right,
every time I've been,
course.
I've just seen Aussies on there.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I don't know if that's coincidence but there didn't seem to be many Americans up there.
Yeah.
And we got to the top of this, and it's this old World War II radio tower at the top, and it overlooks the windward sides of the eastern side of Oahu. And I'm looking out at this mountain range, and it's phenomenal. It's a clear day, and it's just spanning the whole way along like a giant wall, like the wall in Game of Thrones, just like this massive wall that goes up the eastern side.
So green.
Yeah,
isn't
and it's
it?
just sheer,
Yeah.
right? And it's so impressive. I'm going, wow, I wonder if anyone's hiked the entire length of that thing. And so when I got home that night, I got on the phone and I'll butcher his name, Chris Norton. Anyway, this
Nordo.
Nordo. We'll call him Nordo. Looked it up, and this bloke had in 2012 became the first person to ever hike from north to south.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to do that one day, and he did it in 8 days.
So like through the guts, through the mountains.
Yeah, just on the top of this mountain ridgeline the whole way along, and I was like, right, that's the goal. 2022 came around, and I was like, right, I've got like a week and a half off. I'm going to fly over to Hawaii and do it. And I said to a mate, Lockie, shout out to Lockie. I was like, hey mate, I'm going to overdo this. He's like, oh, can I come? I'm like, sure. So we pack our stuff, and I like packed for every contingency. I had like a 30-kilo pack, and we got over there, started the hike, and the day we started, a cyclone hit or a hurricane cyclone, I forget which one it is, hit the Hawaiian Islands, and it's the one that destroyed Maui, where all the fires ripped through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we started the day that happened, and we pushed for the first day. We were supposed to there's a cabin, like there's these cabins up in these mountains for like conservationists to fly up there and do some work and whatnot for protected species. And we were supposed to hit that cabin the first night, and we didn't make it because weather was just horrendous.
Wow.
And it was just like, sideways rain and extreme winds. Like the winds got up over 100 miles an hour.
Oh my god.
Sounds like torture.
Yeah, one of the
Were
days.
you like hanging onto trees and shit?
Well, it's just like shrubs. Once you, yeah. Well, I crawled for 3 hours one of the days.
Oh my god.
Because the wind was that strong that we couldn't stand up. And so it was just blowing us over. And of course, I got a 30-kilo pack on, so you're not exactly the most stable.
And
Really
you just
top
spent
heavy.
$1,500 on return flights to do this hike.
Yeah.
So you're getting it done.
100%.
It's all right.
We got a week and a half.
Yeah, we got heaps of time.
I was like, we've got a deadline to make. I got to get back in time. Like, so we're pushing, and then that first attempt, we got like 6.5 days in, and the cyclonic winds were supposed to have stopped. And so not only is this like, when I called that side of Hawaii the windward side of Hawaii. So not only do you have the cyclonic winds, but it's the windward side of Hawaii. So it's on top of that, the winds are even stronger because they hit this wall of a mountain and just funnel straight up. And so, yeah, you just get blasted by this. And 6.5 days in, we made it to a point just before the Stairway to Hell, which is on the opposite side of the valley to the Stairway to Heaven, which is where I first saw this hike and was like, oh, I'm going to do that. And we hadn't yet got to the most dangerous part, which is the Kalihi Saddle. And the Kalihi Saddle is just this razor-thin ridge line that goes down along and up onto Lanahuli, which is one of the tallest mountains there. It's not the tallest, but it's one of the tallest on Oahu, and very, very dangerous, crumbling rock. And we're like, if the winds are like this, there is zero chance, because you need a clear day in order to be able to get across. And it's like, we're not going to be able to do it. And we're already behind schedule. Flight leaves in like 2 days. We're probably not going to be able to do this. And we were cooked because our feet had been wet for 6 days by that stage. And so we were like,
that sucks.
Yeah, we're like, we'll call it there. We'll live to fight another day, and we'll come back. And so the next year, so 2023, I came back by myself and did it, and got to the Stairway to Heaven where I'd first like imagined this thing, and it was awesome. It was a pretty cool moment. I got to there at night time, climbed up the ridgeline to get there, which was pretty sketchy, and then slept in the Stairway to Heaven, the radio tower at the top, and like had my little Bunsen burner that night. It was like pretty bad winds that night, but I just had like this little Bunsen burner with my little stove thing, cooking up some water so I could have my little rat pack meal, and then went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, and there was just leeches covering my entire sleeping bag, trying to like get into my bivvy bag where the thing was, because it was like, obviously I was in there, they wanted some. And
Crazy.
yeah, and I was just like,
Is that like freaky?
yeah, I'm not going to say I acted cool. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like fully zipped in this thing?
Yeah, in a bivvy bag. So it's like think of it as like a sleeping bag protector, waterproof protector that has like a zip up thing so that you can, like a body bag you can zip up and breathe through.
Breathe through, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To keep you out of the elements, to stop snakes and stuff getting in.
Yeah.
And so fixed that, chucked all my stuff in the pack, and I was like, right, onto the Kalihi Saddle, which is this, razor thin ridgeline.
The next part.
Yeah, and I was like super amped up because I was like, right, this is the part where if I'm going to die, it's going to be here, because, and I've not done free climbing, so I was going to learn on the Kalihi Saddle, which they say in all of the things, they say like, hey, make sure you've done all of these parts along this trail at least once individually so that you know what you're up for and you can prepare for. And I don't have that much money to be able to fly over multiple times to test that out. So I was like, nah, just bang it in all in one go. Like,
And you're by yourself.
yeah. So by myself, and this was like day 5. So I'd made really good time by this stage. Like I was making really, really good time. And I'm going down this cliff face. I'm looking out at this, like, it was a clear day, super impressive ridgeline, and holding on because there's ropes along the way, but I'm just holding on with one rope. The pack's on the back. My pack this time was only about 20 kilos, probably just under, similar to the one that I'm running for this Death March race at the moment. But because last time, the one previous, the pack was way too heavy. It was just killing me.
Yeah.
I'm going up and down these, ridge lines. And so standing there holding this rope on this boulder, and the boulder just completely gave way underneath me. Because it was all loose rock, and it's just completely given way, and I'm falling. And in my head, I'm like, that's it, I'm done for. Like I'm having this, and I'm trying to grip onto this rope and find the rope with my other hand. And eventually I find it, and I like swing around like Indiana Jones style and like hit this side of this rock. And my feet are like, it was not graceful at all. I was puckering hard, like scrambling. Feet were like kicking to try and find something to grab onto.
Yeah, so you're not hanging, dangling.
And I eventually find my footing, and I'm just like holding on this rock faces there. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, you would be.
Bro, so you're just hanging off a cliff.
Yeah, just hanging off a cliff. And then so I eventually, like, thank God I've got this rope, and thank God the rope didn't snap, because I always say tie your own ropes because you don't know.
So that was the only thing keeping you from dropping.
The only thing, because it's like a ravine that just drops for like, say, 100 meters down. And so like you would have been.
I couldn't even imagine what the view looking down at that would have been like.
So
I thought you were going to say, imagine the view just hanging there.
Oh, yeah, turn around. Oh, hang on a second. That's fucking beautiful.
Good life.
Let's take a selfie here.
Yeah. But, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah, so like I get down to the next part, like I scramble down, and I like take a moment to compose myself, and I'm like, I had no ability to scramble at all with this pack on, because you're just a dead weight essentially falling. So I looked up to the next rock face, which was up, I forget what they call it. Each of these little peaks have their own name. Like one's called like Shark Tooth or Shark Fin or something like that. I look up this next one, and there's like ropes hanging down off it. I'm like, I'm not climbing up that with my pack. It's too steep. And so I take my pack off, I had ropes with me, tied a rope to it, tied the rope to my waistband, and then I just started climbing up this mountain or this ridgeline, and got to one stage, pulled the pack up behind me, placed it there, and then looked up to the next part, and I hear like rumbling, and I'm like, oh, what's that? I should probably check. Oh, it's probably nothing. No, I should check. And I turn around, and it's my pack, and it's just flipping off the cliff, but it's still tied to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's like 20 kilos, right? So like
Heavy. Like heavy enough to pull you down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
Weighs about as much as me.
It'd be like Biz jumping off tied to you.
and so I'm like frantically just quickly look around, because it's probably, I don't know how long, it was a long line of rope, but
Holy shit.
I like
that would have been like in slow mo.
I'm anxious now, and this has already happened.
It was like in Indiana Jones or something again, where you see like the rope just go like, and it's going like that. I'm just like, look around, I see a branch, and I like lean into this cliff face and just hold on to the branch and like just brace myself, and then the whole thing just snaps, and it snaps off my waistband and just goes tumbling into this ravine. And I sit there, and I'm like, it's got all my water, my food, everything in it. And I was like, I'm so close to the end. Like I'm done. Like I need that.
Yeah.
And so I sit there for a moment. I'm pretty dejected, because I'm like trying to think what to do. It's like probably another day and a half to the end. Do I just push without water and food and just make a go of it? Or do I I can't see the pack, I can see the rope, but it's down this cliff ravine. I'm not going to get it without another rope. I need another rope to tie on to like climb down, lower myself down to get it and locate it. And
yeah, that thing's gone, I reckon, eh?
yeah. And then even then I'm thinking to myself, like, if I had not turned around, because every part of me was like, no, it's just some rocks. You don't need to turn around. If I had not turned around, that pack, because I'm standing, like, to put this into perspective, I'm standing like that close to this massive, massive drop.
Like you're just on the tiny foot wide ledge.
Exactly. So if that pack had even pulled me a foot to brace myself. Like I had to step my foot out like that. I would have gone off the edge
Oh,
and died. Like I wouldn't have survived that, or at least if I did survive, I would be
a slow death
yeah,
or something.
yeah, I would be maimed and mangled. And so anyway, I sat there for probably an hour, just like, what do I do? And then I was like, I've got to come down because I need food. I need water, more importantly, for another day and a half in this heat, in the Hawaiian heat and whatnot. So thankfully, my mates, Jack and Peter, were over there. And I messaged Pete because I knew she'd be at home. And I was like, hey, can you come and pick me up? And I got to come down and get some more resources and stuff so I can get my stuff and go back up. She's like, yeah, no worries. So she comes with her daughter.
Wait, so did you were on this cliff edge, you used the rope to get back up again to the ridge and then went back to the stairway down.
So halfway along the Kalihi Saddle, it's the closest point up and down along the entire Kolau Summit Trail. It's the most dangerous part along there, but there's a little off-ramp halfway along there that you can get down to the side of this highway that runs through the mountains.
Oh, because I was wondering, how you've gotten down.
Yeah. So
you
and
just
your
went
phone
down
was
from
working
there.
up there
My
fine.
phone was in my pocket. So I was
Yeah.
like, and because this is the cool thing about Hawaii, because it's on this ridge line that's like complete jungle and whatnot, but there's civilization right there. So you're walking along this ridge line, but you can see civilization.
So you got full service.
You
and
got
stuff
full
like that.
service and
Yeah.
everything. So I was like posting on my stories like, hey, this is what I'm doing, And legit, I like put up a story like, hey, nearly died on that one. Like
Quick selfies and shit.
Bro's just kissing a cliff face.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I go down and she meets me down there with like watermelon, pineapple, and all this. She's the best. Shout out to Pete. But she's brought her daughter along, and me and her daughter are just sitting there on the side of this road. I look haggard, like because I've just got like severe sunburn. Because each day I was like, fuck sunscreen, like
Yeah.
and
Aussie stuff.
Yeah, which was stupid because my eyes were severely burnt and I looked like I'd been smoking weed or something. Like my eyes were so bloodshot, and so I was just sitting there on the side of this road, dejected, eating pineapple and whatnot. Anyway, I go and get myself sorted, get some more supplies. I just went and got, I think, like 6 protein bars and stuff. Got some water, like a big Camelback, chucked a bunch of water bottles in it, and then went back up. Straight back up to where I'd left off, and then continued along. And I was only going another hour along this ridge line, and I get to this point where it was just, again, a sheer cliff. And I was like, am I stupid? Like I nearly died twice the other day, and I'm about to go do this again, and I cannot see how to get down this. And I was like really mad. I was just like fuck you, mountain. Like I've tried, and I just cannot do this. And I sat there and I was dejected again, having a little emotional tantrum with myself. And I get up to walk back. I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. Like, I can't see a way to get down that mountain.
Yeah.
So I turn around and then I start walking back, and I'm like, well, I tried. And then I stop myself. I sit down and I'm just like, okay, you're being a coward right now. Like, you're having an emotional moment. Like, just, pull yourself together, walk back and have a look. So I walk back. I'm like, right, I can see a rock that I can get to. I can't see anything from there, but I can see a rock. And I was like, oh, well, I'll climb down to that rock. And so I climbed down to that rock, and then I was like, oh, I see another rock. And I was like, okay, I'll get to that. And I keep doing this until it gets to a part where there's nothing, but it's probably only like a 2-meter drop or something like that. So I just jump and land down, and I was like kissing the ground because I was like, I can't believe I got down this. Like, oh my God. And so then I continue on. I climb up Lanahuli, which is the most breathtaking climb ever. I love that part. I would do it again just for that part, but I probably wouldn't do that Kalihi Saddle again. And get up to this other side, which is called the Wedge, which was really sketchy as well, but not as sketchy as what I'd just done. Climb along there, and I get down to the Pali Notches, which is, they have this Pali Highway which runs through there, but it's these old Hawaiian, back in the day, King Kamehameha, had set up what looks like these, castle-like structures where they shot cannons through and stuff like that. And anyway, you climb up these notches, and they're awesome. They're these like little rock climbing things, and then you get up and you climb up I think it's K1 or K2, and it's basically a full day. It's about 12 hours from the Pali Notches all the way to Makapu'u Lookout, which is the end of this hike. And yeah, so it was just like I got up there and I just pushed. I was like, right, I've got till 7 or 8 o'clock at night to get back. And so I'm like running along, and about 3 hours from the end, I run out of water. And I was starting to feel it because it was a big day of pushing. Like I was just going hard to get there. And the last 3 hours though, you can jog. So I just ran the last 3 hours and then got to this part, which is like a government installation, where the Dead Man's Catwalk is, which for listeners, they might have heard of Dead Man's Catwalk. There's a lot of picturesque photos taken from this point. And it's a legal hike as well, but that's just because it's on a government installation.
Yeah.
And so you get to this point, it's a big barbed wire fence, and I like climbed. It was dark at this stage, and I'd been up there a number of times, but because it was dark and I didn't bring a head torch with me because it was in my pack that had fallen off the cliff.
Right.
I was just like, oh yeah, this is the fence you climb over. So I climbed over this fence, jumped into the compound, and then I'm like running along this road part to get to the next part to go down. I realised I'd jumped over the wrong one, and I was like well within the compound, and it was like, yeah, and it's like a 3 metre barbed wire fence at the top to get out, and I was just like, oh shit. So I climb up this and I like go to jump over, my pants get caught. I completely rip the arse out of my pants. So I've just got like, and it rips my underwear as well. So I've just got like bare cheeks, like on this. And I'm
Good way to finish the hike.
yeah, good way to finish the hike. And I get down, my mate Jack picks me up, and he just sees me. He's got video footage of me just staggering in, looking haggard. And he's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm done." And like I turn around. And he's like, "Oh, dude, like your pants." He takes a picture of my pants. There's just this massive hole in them, like my ass hanging out. And then he goes, "All right, I would take you home, but we got to go pick up a surfboard." He's like, "I just bought a surfboard off a bloke." And he's like, "But it's from a bit of a dodgy area, so I just need you to come for backup in case, you know." And I was like, "Okay." So we go there. We stop off at a
Can't be any scarier than the last 3 days of
surfboard
my
sounds
life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we go to the servo. I walk into the servo, and there's like I've got no ass on the back of my pants and whatnot, and the security guard starts like circling, and he comes up and he's like, "We all good, buddy?" So yeah, mate, I'm just getting some food. He's like, "Oh, you're coherent," and I was like, "Yeah." And I think he must have thought that I was like some sort of
Drunk.
vagrant or
Homeless or
drunk.
something.
Yeah.
Ah.
And because I looked the part, right? I looked haggard.
Yeah.
And then and then we left and picked up the surfboard, went home, and then I was like, right, I'm done. But the full circle moment of this, to say the relevance of this is, like, you know, I thought that I was going to be super satisfied when I did this because I'd become the first Aussie to ever finish this, right? Some Aussies tried it a couple of years prior and got 2 days in and then quit there. And so like I thought I was going to be like, hell yeah, I've just done this. But to be honest, like the pinnacle moment of that entire hike was me overcoming that moment of cowardice where I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. But like the proudest moment was like just going, no, I'm just going to break this down into manageable goals. Like get to that rock, then get to that rock. And mentally like that, you know, get through that. And that was a massive win for me, especially as someone that's not like a free or solo climber or anything like that.
I love that
exactly.
that's your definition of cowardice. Brother, I would have jumped off the fucking edge. I'd be like, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it was, we were talking, because you guys have, you have people who've shared like shit yourself stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about my old man, this gives you a bit like, I'm trying to think of like a way to give you a perspective on what he's like, right?
Kaz loves a shit story.
Well, I think once you do one shit outside, the world just becomes your toilet, right? Because it's like your body's just like, oh, you can shit anywhere now.
Yeah.
And so
Just walk out the front door. Oh, done it again.
Oh, Dan's been here.
So as a kid, we lived in up in the Canunga in the married patch, which is what they call where like the military members that are married live on the married patch or the married quarters. And so we're there. There was one toilet in this house, and every bloke knows like the toilet is your sanctum, right? Like you can go and sit in there for 30, 40 minutes, and it's like that's your moment of
Yeah, I
peace.
love a good sit down solo time, eh?
Yeah, just
Love
peace
it.
and quiet,
Yeah.
right? And so one toilet in the house, Dad had just gotten in there, just gone to the toilet, and he's clearly just settled himself in. And I'm like a kid, like 12 years old or something like that. And I ran and I was like, Dad, I need to use the toilet. And he's like, mate, I'm going to be here a while. Like, you can wait. And I was like, Dad, I can't wait. Like, I urgently need to go. And he's like, if you need to go, prove it. And I was like, what do you mean? And he like hands me 2 squares of toilet paper. And I quite legitimately mean 2 squares of toilet paper because he did not believe that you needed any more to wipe your ass than 2 squares. Because he was like a stickler for for conserving water.
2 squares?
Yeah, bro. Like 2
If he
squares.
had the run.
Yeah, legit. Like, you want to hope for a
hilarious.
ghost wipe, right? Like, so
He's King Ghost Wipe, bro.
Yeah, he must be, eh?
so he hands me these 2, and I was like, right, I will. And so I go into the backyard and I bring out a little shovel, like dig a little divot, and I do a shit in the backyard and cover it up. And then he comes out like 30, 40 minutes later. He's like, right, show me where you did it. And I was like, just there. There's the...
30, 40 minutes later.
He was sitting there for a good time. And then, so that's how I learned to shit outside. But then it came in good handy on this hike because, like, I don't know if you've ever done a shit in the
Wait, pause.
Yeah.
So wait, did you just kept running out in the backyard after that? Or
No,
you went,
that was my solo time doing that. That was my solo time doing that. Although I have done a few shits outside of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you ever been to Canberra?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2. That's probably the one place I would shit outside.
Yeah. So you know Lake Burley Griffin, the massive lake in the middle
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Are we on another story now?
We are, like, real quick side quest story.
All right, be quick.
There's not enough toilets around that Lake Burley Griffin, right? There's none. And I do like a lot of long distance runs. And so I'm on this run and I'm like, I need to urgently go, but I'm running along trying to find a toilet. I go for kilometers, there's no fucking toilets. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have to jump in the lake. And so, like, I jump in the lake, like, pull my ducks down, and I just, like, start doing shit. And then this family come up and they were like, oh, is the water nice? And I'm just like, please fuck off. I'm like mid shit here.
Bit
Like,
murky,
yeah,
but it's good.
Yeah, I'm like trying to keep a straight face and, like, not act as if I'm doing this. But to bring it full circle there as well. So I'm on this mountain for this hike.
We got multiple poo
We got
stories coming in here.
Multiple stories laid in.
Love it.
Middle of this hike in a hurricane. There's no toilets up there, and I'm on the side of this cliff face. And I don't know if you've ever done a shit in the middle of a hurricane, but it's something else.
Oh.
There's
Something else as in good or bad?
bad.
Why would it be? How could it be good?
Oh, it could be exhilarating.
I mean, you have a great view.
What, it
pros
just
and
whipping
cons.
back around, fucking catching you on the cheek?
shit.
Legit. Duck and weave.
Yeah.
But
Dodging nugs.
there's pros and cons, right? Like, you have an amazing view, but the con is that you do not have any control of where that shit's going.
So true.
Yeah. So, but I think, like, my upbringing with Dad prepared me for that, because it was like, you've got to go outside and if you got to
You're
go,
comfortable.
you got to be comfortable.
Yeah, you're hoping it's solid in a hurricane, aren't ya?
Yeah.
So you can just
It wasn't.
doots it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't?
No.
So that thing's
Because
sprayed.
it was on Rat Pack, so all the super preservative foods and stuff like that. So it's going.
So you did it on the edge of the cliff and it just sprayed everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Mate, how'd you get the name Dan Natura? I would really wanted to ask.
Yeah. Okay. So, before I started all this fitness stuff, and obviously been in the military for 13 years, and I was in Canberra, 2024. So last year I came back up to the Gold Coast. But 2024 I was in a gym, and one of the massive gyms down there, and I was on one of the machines, and there was a kid. He would have been 17 years old, and he's on this bench, and he didn't get the bench. He was trying to get the bench press up, didn't get it up, and his mate helps him rack it, and he stands up and he's just like, fuck, can't wait till I can do testosterone or test or something like that, or, whatever he said. And I was like, the kid's 17. Like, you're filled with testosterone. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
and that shocked me, and it sort of made me think again a bit more about, God, there's so much misinformation out there, and just a lack of information on how to do all this naturally.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, younger generation coming through and other people that are out there need to be, given information about, so that they can apply it if it resonates with them, about how to do this naturally if they want to. I'm not suggesting there's anything wrong with people that don't want to do that. Like, hey, it's your life, do what you want.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me was, like, trying to do it naturally. And so the Natura part is just like, taking the L off from natural, and because I'm just trying to again show people how to do this all naturally, whether it be
Yeah.
performance, physique, long-term health, trying to combine all of that naturally and optimize it naturally. And so that's sort of where the name came from. Was just thinking about that and what I wanted to portray as well. And
Yeah. So how much gear do you take?
next to zero.
Oh, every poster.
Surely you must get that a lot, though.
I
hey?
do so
Yeah.
much.
Do you take it as a compliment or is it annoying?
At first, it was a massive compliment
Yeah.
because it's like, oh wow, people think that my physique is nice. Like that's cool.
And now is it more like they genuinely don't believe you and you feel like you have to
Yes.
like prove yourself right?
Yeah, well,
almost?
like even the question about what supplements are you taking, and I'm like, I literally just have fish oil and creatine if I remember to have it.
Yeah.
Like I have to have it out on the bench, otherwise I forget to have it.
But that again, I feel like it's probably like the sauna and ice bath, wouldn't you say?
100%.
It's again like that.
If you don't have everything else dialed in,
That's the 1%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
What
people-
supplements do you take?
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like, mate, do you have all this dialed in? If you don't even have that dialed in, don't bother with the supplements. Get that dialed in, then you can worry about that.
Yeah.
And even then, there's so many supplements out there, but the ones that you need, arguably, like, or the ones that benefit you, creatine, fish oil, magnesium glycinate, like, realistically, yeah, and even protein powder. I almost never have protein powder. The only time I will have it is if I'm making a dessert and I want extra flavour in a dessert. So I'll use some like a cleaner protein powder.
Yeah, like a cleaner option.
But, yeah, but even with the steroids thing, like someone like there was this guy that just kept like on all my posts, just like kept accusing me of it. And I was like, right, I'm going to go get blood work
Blood's done. And
to prove it.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't even know what to look for in this. I had to get someone, like I had to explain to the doctor, I was like, what do I look for? Like, what am I trying to point out to people to show that I'm not on anything?
yeah.
Because I don't know, because I'm not on anything. So I don't know
What would be spiking and what
yeah,
would
exactly.
Yeah.
And so they explained it to me and whatnot. So I posted it up and they're like, oh, you haven't posted this page. Oh, you're trying to conceal that. And I was like, oh, all the figures were normal on that. I didn't even realize that was a thing. So I posted that one up again. And I was like, oh, here's the evidence. And as soon as I posted that, it was like, oh, it's real easy to doctor things on.
You're never going to win, man.
Exactly.
You're
And
never
it got to a
Never
point where I was like,
gonna
look,
win.
I've tried to play your game and give you the
Yeah.
information. You don't want to believe it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whether they believe it or not, what does it matter really at the end of the day?
and
man?
again, it's like I don't care if other people do it, because it's your life. Do what you want. But for me, it's growing up with Dad, he was always like, "That's cheating." Basically, that's what he'd said to me. It was like, "That's cheating. You can do this all naturally."
Yeah.
If you're going for that, like you've lost because you're an idiot. Basically, like that's what he would always say. And so I don't. I'm not projecting that onto other people because if it works for them in their life, so be it. But for me, it doesn't work. And so the big thing is that I'm trying to, and when I say it doesn't work, as in like it doesn't align with my style and of nutrition and performance and how I'm trying to optimize.
And I feel like
believe
getting
in.
to know you just this episode, I feel like with your mindset, it would irk you a bit that you are cheating, I reckon.
Yeah, like it because it's just like, no, the whole point of what I'm trying to do is to show people what can be done naturally.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like,
Pushing yourself to the absolute limit of
yeah.
fitness.
And it's like people just want to accuse you of that because it makes them feel more comfortable about perhaps why
Not
they,
looking as good or
yeah, or
whatever
why
it
they
may
might.
be.
It's like an easy out for them to go, oh, he's on something.
Yeah.
And it's like, but
Yeah.
if you look at me, like, look how skinny my calves are. If I was like banging the gear, don't you think I'd try and send some of that to my calves or like,
Welcome to the small carbs train, brother.
yeah,
Chook legs for life.
yeah, like it's So it's one of those things that I think it comes with the territory that you'd experience this a lot. People attacking you in comments. and
Oh
saying
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it's like what's some of the road comments you've received? You would have received.
Oh,
a ton.
mine are just funny, man. Like, I think they're funny anyway. It'll
Mm.
just be like, oh, another cunt that thinks he's God's gift and stuff like that. Stuff like that.
It's good.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The chat is incredible. No, mine's more funny. Yeah, or like I do a lot of not even skits. Like I just have a really good sense of humor with like my girlfriend and her mum, for instance.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of videos where I'll be taking the piss out of her and like even her mum sometimes. Like
Yeah.
there was this trend where you like hang up on your partner's mum or some shit. And I did that and then people are commenting like he definitely like bashes his girlfriend and I'm like, yeah, because I hung up on someone, I definitely bashed my girlfriend.
You're jumping to this conclusion from
Fully, yeah. So, and it's ones like that, and I have such a good like relationship with it now. I either just like post and ghost, or if I'm reading it, it's for like my own like self entertainment because
Yeah.
like it is. There are times you'll read some and you're like, that is pretty funny. Like whether it's against you or not, like you can't. The internet will always win.
Yeah.
And I think if you buy back into it and you bite back, that's when they win, right? Like,
That's what Kaz has always said.
I always say to beers, because when we started this, I was just like, look, there's going to be times where you're going to want to write back and people are going to say something that's going to piss you off. I was like, you can't.
You're better off
100%.
not commenting back because it'll never end, no
kill
matter
them with
what.
kindness.
Yeah, because there's
Like,
people
at the end of
that-
the day, we have such good intentions, and most people
exactly.
are judging us off a reel if they want to or whatever.
Yeah.
Go listen to the whole app and you'll realize we're actually not. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a good old bit of banter, and we're actually
Yeah.
really good, genuine
Yeah.
blokes.
And
so.
people that take that out of context and like, you know, for example, like someone said, I hate Joe Rogan, for example, like not me, but they said, I hate Joe Rogan. I'm like, oh, why do you hate Joe Rogan? Oh, because he said this one thing. And I'm like, so you're basing your entire hatred of a person based off one thing they said. Have you ever said anything where you maybe came across a little bit incorrect in some manner, way,
Yeah.
shape or form? And would you allow other people to just completely hate you based off that one?
Yeah,
You know,
you're
like-
not being
Yeah.
perfect for
Exactly.
100% of your
we all
life.
fuck up.
We all
Yeah.
fuck up. All of our shit stinks. Like we all
Yeah.
put on our pants one leg at a time.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
Exactly,
just,
man.
Yeah, people are so weird like that. And then some people will be commenting like hate and that sort of stuff, and they don't even actually care. They just like want to get a response out of you.
Yeah.
Like they probably don't even dislike you, but they want to get at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're hoping that you bite back.
Yeah,
And like
100%.
they go on about their day. They're not thinking about you at all. They actually don't care about you.
No, and
Do
if
you
you
know
let
what I
that
mean?
irk you, then like
Yeah. And it's like you can't be getting butthurt over stuff where the people giving you that shit, they probably don't even care about you
Yeah.
at all either.
Well,
Do
the
you know what I mean?
Burning Man like post that I put up, which I got rinsed for, and there was some funny shit on there. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
people were saying some stuff. Like one person was like, "Oh, don't you feel like an absolute wanker filming yourself and doing this type of stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Doing
I do."
it. He went to Burning Man and did it sober.
Yeah.
And got hate for it. And
Yeah.
did some gym workouts and made some
at
like,
the gyms that
videos.
they have there.
have that. Yeah.
I'm going to a festival sober this weekend. So
yeah,
fuck me.
dude. Go
Yeah.
Cars. That's
Yeah.
going to be crazy,
What
bro.
one's that?
Laneway.
Laneway.
Okay,
Yeah.
I act as if like I know where. what these
It's
things
just
are.
a music
Just a
festival,
music
yeah.
one, yeah, in Brizzy.
Yeah, cool.
It's,
Yeah.
it's been around for years, but that's pretty crazy. Like, I can't even imagine going to one.
Yeah, well, I'm
sober,
going
bro.
there for work. So I'm like working at the event, and I'm trying to be sober at the moment. So it's going to be the first one.
First big test, for sure.
Yeah, but should be
You can
like,
do it, bro.
Yeah, no.
What's the
confident.
intent behind doing it sober and pursuing sober for a bit?
Oh, I've just never really given myself a real red hot crack.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon at like training, time off the piss, like all of it. I'll always be like, I'm staying in this weekend or next weekend, but it'll always be like a 3-week cycle and then rinse and repeat kind of thing. So my thing this year was I want to at least do like maybe 100 days or like 2 or 3 months where it's just like not an option. Like I'm just not doing that and see kind of where I go and what comes from it. And I'm 40 days in, I've ditched absolutely everything and I'm
Congrats, man. That's
yeah, no,
fantastic.
I'm loving life. So I'm gonna try and
I've actually, like, even just one of his best mates, mate, I feel like your mind clarity is better, your moods are just always good. and
Yeah.
I feel like it's been the best thing you've done in ages, bro.
I know. I remember these two even said they were like you're so much more chill like this episode and shit.
Less
once
stress. You're just
Yeah.
like on. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's good to
interesting,
see.
like, growing up as someone that didn't drink a lot, but like, people would say like, oh, you're not a man unless you, have a beer and all this stuff.
exactly.
The irony there is that alcohol actually lowers our testosterone. So
You're less of a man if you
Yeah.
drink. Yeah. If you want to like get into the
Yeah.
exactly.
we
Yeah.
want to bring up the science here.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just the oldest shit in the book, isn't it? That I feel like that's probably the hardest hurdle people have is the peer pressure and people going, oh, you're not drinking or you're doing this. It's
Mate,
like,
I have a fantastic time going out not drinking, like as in, and I think it's because as well, like if you can be really comfortable with yourself in different settings, not drinking. But people use it as a mask, right? Like they feel
Fully.
uncomfortable when they're out, so they need it to unwind a little
Yeah.
I definitely do.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
bit. Which is what I find odd because you're the chillest dude out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised, to be honest, if you like did a few things sober at the end of it. Like
Yeah,
oh,
I think it would be just, I guess, going on the sort of chat we were on before. I guess like it's all I've ever known.
It's
like
a
I've been
habit,
drinking
right?
since I was 16, dude. Like
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
I go out, beer.
Yeah.
Like or goon at the start, but
everywhere
now
I
it's
go.
beer, and it's like, man, if I don't have beer in my hand, I don't feel right. It's almost
Yeah.
like when I was addicted to nicotine. It was a ciggy. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm in a social setting or
Exactly. Like in especially on the Gold Coast, where it's like, what do you do on weekends? You go out to a bar, you go out to, the PAV, you go out to all these different hotspot areas, and it's like everyone's drinking, right? And if you're not, it's you're the odd one out. So I can see why it's like it's a hard habit to break when that's all year around.
Yeah.
Just got to commit for those. Like even what now would probably feel pretty good, but you haven't had a lot of events. But
Yeah,
tomorrow
that's
will be a
what I
proper
mean.
test.
But then at the same time, it's like a...
Get through the first few big events, and you're like, oh, I can actually do this.
Yeah, but then I don't want to, because I feel like when you put a like a price tag on it at the end, there's almost this like, now I can't break my streak. Do you know what I mean? And that's gonna break my streak, and then I'm gonna. So I don't want to set like a, I need to go all year or some crazy. Because even if I just go 2 or 3 months, even if I go 2 months, that's the longest I've ever gone without any like vice or stimulant. So
100%.
So like
I
that's
like that mentality though, because like what that taps into as well is like intent around what we're doing, which comes back to like the diet thing. It comes back to, your training thing. Like what's the intent you're trying to achieve? And I think, with the alcohol piece, when you're trying to understand what the intent is behind what someone's hoping to achieve, is like, are they looking to have an outlet to escape something in their normal life? Are they looking at just to socialize? Because it's like something fun that they want to let loose and just socialize. Like, understanding what the intent is. But I think so many people go through life without any clear intent behind what they do.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, it just becomes a habit where it's like, oh, you catch up with the fellas, like you go for a drink.
Yeah.
It's not understanding the intent behind it. It's more like, hey, this is just what we do.
Yeah.
And so I think when you actually attach an intent behind it, like, and your thing is like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, you just wanted to gain a bit more clarity, see what you could do, see, how long you could go with it, and see how it benefited your life.
Yeah.
And that's clear intent, right? Like,
Yeah. I think the clear intents, I definitely want to, moving forward, drink and do all those bad things less. But then I don't want to say, I'm never doing that ever again, and put myself in a box where if I drink one night, I'm going to be mad at myself, and I'm not going to have like that.
That's an
relationship
unhealthy
with it.
relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So just doing a good little stint at the start will be my thing, and then just picking my battles after that.
Yeah.
Like,
Picking
weddings,
balance,
30th,
yeah.
like not just, it's Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
That's kind of the main hurdle I want to jump over.
That's
I think
fine
that's a
this
really
year.
healthy way to approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping this year just more like not just absolutely sending it and just picking battles, enjoying a couple, but just, not absolutely sending it and
Every single time.
Yeah. Enjoy
Yeah.
the moment a bit more, and like you can have a couple and go home and wake up fresh and go to gym the next day.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
probably the big thing for me is
Yeah.
like the next day when it's wrecked, I just like have a little.
Yeah.
I'm just angry at myself.
Or I can live with that. Like if you can have 3 beers, like in an Arvo a night, and then you get up and you like do your run, gym, whatever you had planned the next day, and it doesn't alter that at all. Like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's when I would do that and then, I'm not going to go for that run now. Or,
Yeah.
I'll just go to the gym the next day.
Yeah.
And then all those little things you start telling yourself, going to the gym one extra day is not going to really fucking do anything. Do you know what I mean? All the mental battles you
It's
have with
always the
yourself.
best when you do that way. Like
Yeah.
every time, if I'm in on
You
the
feel so much
Monday,
better for it.
I'm in on the Monday, bro. I'm like dripping beers essentially, and
Yeah.
Dan's just looking like an absolute statue in the corner, punching bags and shit. Not literal bags.
Boxing bags. for the fact-
Boxing bags.
Get your head out of the gutter. And yeah, I'm just sitting there like so dehydrated and stuff. But after it, we just have mad chat, and I'm just like, I feel so much better, bro. Oh, how good. Mate, another question before we go into the questionnaire. The last thing we do. What's next for Dan Natura? Fill us in, mate. I know you have a big year ahead, but I
Dude.
know nothing about it.
It's going to be a massive year. This is what I've been working towards, like all last year, right? So like, I'm on 6 months half pay, leave at half pay from the military, and then I discharge middle of the year officially.
Amazing.
And so the intent behind this year has been to set up my coaching business so that I can take it full time.
Yep.
But the bigger goal there is like, because everyone talks about, what's your niche thing and what do you offer the market that's different? And I always used to say to my corporals, because, you'd have some that like, hey, I really want to get promoted. And I always say, hey, look, if you just take care of your team and you do a good job, the promotion and the success will come. But if you chase promotion, then, it'll fall off and you won't get that. And so one of the key intents has been trying to, find that purpose when I leave the military, because I think a lot of people miss that when they leave the military. Is like the military gives them a sense of purpose, and then when they leave, all of a sudden they don't have it, which is why depression rates arguably are so high. And so for myself, it's been, trying to find my thing that I'm good at, and I think my niche is that versatility approach, but trying to optimize that physique, performance, and long-term health all as one. Because a lot of coaches just focus on, they're a physique coach, they're a performance coach, I focus on holistic nutrition, that type of thing. I'm trying to blend all that together in one approach, using natural nutrition and staying, 100% drug-free and natural through that process. And one of the key things is this year is I'm launching the YouTube to go into and explore long-form content so that I can give people more value. But I'm going to travel the world seeking out all of the niche people, places, locations, communities, societies that are optimizing health and nutrition and fitness and wellness in general in their own unique way. So, for example, Okinawa. Why do the Okinawans in Japan live to be over 100 consistently?
Yeah, they live the longest, hey?
Exactly. What are they doing that they've worked out that the rest of us haven't?
I love this.
Yeah. So it's like
Green tea and cigarettes.
Oh, where do I subscribe?
Yeah. So the goal will be, I'm starting in Hawaii, 4 weeks in Hawaii, staying with mates. But because I'm using that as a base of operations before I go over to New Mexico for this big race, to raise money for that. That's the first big objective. And then from there, I'll be going to LA. And the idea behind that is I've made a mate through the Instagram process who's like the head nutritionist for the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm going to hit him up to try and get a tour of the facility and understand, talk to him about, like, get him on the YouTube, and try and talk to him about how he optimizes performance for his NFL players, which is because the LA Rams have got arguably one of the top performing nutrition departments in the NFL, like based on the scorecards they get each year from the NFL Players Association. And then I have a few friends in there that are in the comedy scene and whatnot. And so, like, I want to try my hand at stand-up comedy. So I'm not restricting myself.
No way, do you really?
Yeah. So
You've got some balls on you.
well, and that's part of the point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we, what things can I learn to optimize? Because it's not just health. I don't want people to think of it as just health and fitness, but think of it as wellness in general. Like, how does comedy and how does, facing your fears, standing up in front of a crowd at open mic night to do you absolutely bomb out? Like, what are the lessons you learn from it?
Mate.
Then I'll be going down to Costa Rica, Colombia, Peru, Brazil, and again, just seeking out what are the superfoods in each of those locations. What's their unique fitness thing that they do? What is it that makes them special in their part of the world to optimize these things?
Yeah.
And then to Portugal, then I'll just be tracking east all through Europe into Georgia, hoping to get into Dagestan. We'll see. 2-3 years.
Dagestan.
You have to do some wrestling.
Yeah. And then Fiddy, our boxing coach, he's got some contacts in Uzbekistan they're the best amateur boxers in the world. So they won the most golds at the last Olympics, and so I'm trying to get in to work with them. And
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick. Learn from them.
That'd be awesome.
Continue east. From there, go into the Himalayas. Hopefully learn from some Sherpas about what they do in terms of like altitude type training and stuff like that. Thailand, going to Inner Mongolia to Mongolian wrestling, Japan for Okinawa and all that. So it's just trying to find all of those niche things, but then I want to share it. And I'm going to New Zealand in 2 weeks' time. And the idea is I invested all my life savings into the development of an app. And so I'm dead broke at the moment. I'm trying to just live paycheck to paycheck to survive, but going all in on that. And the idea is that on there, that's where I'll have all my coaching and whatnot, but across all the metrics of performance, physique, and long-term health for nutrition, fitness, mindset, all of these things, make it a one-stop shop where we can do this but start to create a community where I can share these things and these insights that I learn from all these different countries and all these different people for a very low price, so that people can actually get in and we can have those one-on-one discussions about their health, what they're trying to do to optimize it and things like that. So my whole intent has been, because I think whenever people chase money in this, it inherently goes wrong because they're pursuing the wrong thing. And so I'm trying to pursue purpose here with putting out and influencing, hopefully in the right way, other people to enhance and optimize their long-term health, their physique, their performance in all metrics of their life naturally, so that they can then share that in their own communities, whether it be their friends, their family, the circles that they're in, so that we have as much effect and impact as possible. So it's going to be a big year, and there's a lot on the cards, but I'm very excited for it because it's it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a whole lot of learning that happens.
That's unreal,
Mate,
man.
We're gonna have to start calling you Dan Adventurer. I was sitting on that for a while.
I was gonna say, he couldn't wait to get that out. He couldn't wait. Bro was already looking at me before he started talking.
I was like, yeah, we'll wait for this one, guys. Mate, no, that sounds like you're about to have the best year of your life. You're finally out of the military, mate. Everything you've worked hard for, and it seems like you've found purpose, which is what you're trying to give to the world. And I feel like a lot of people are definitely going to gain a lot from you, bro. And
I hope
I'm
so.
very, very excited to see it all pan out. Like, that's so sick.
Absolutely.
And you couldn't think of a better job to just, I guess, like traveling, fitness, knowledge, gaining all the time.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you, bro.
Like I don't
That's
want it to just be about me. Like I'm trying to make sure that it's developed into a community so other people can share their experiences too. And that's the beauty of the internet, right? Is we're connected with people from all across the world.
Yes.
Like what does someone in Siberia do that we don't do here in Australia on the Gold Coast? Like, you know,
I'm interested. I'll be watching.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
it's going to be exciting.
Good on you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Sick.
All right. Well, we normally finish off the app with the quickest quickfire questionnaire. So me and Biz will ask you 5 questions each.
Cool.
And you'll just give us your answers, really?
I'm nervous now.
No, they're not like full on at all. So if you could pick any one person to play you in a movie to tell your story, who would you choose?
Denzel Washington.
Yes, dude.
Some people say I remind them of a young Denzel.
Yeah.
I think it's the complexion.
Yeah, have him do whiteface for this one.
Bro, but king. Absolute king.
Yeah, best actor. I've had this debate with a mate for a very long time between who's a better actor, Matthew McConaughey or Denzel.
Oh, it's a tough argument, but I probably lean Denzel too.
I'm Denzel all
Team
day,
Denzel.
baby.
Denzel.
Yeah, take
What's
that,
your
Adam.
favourite Denzel movie?
Man, American Gangster was exceptional.
Yeah.
The scene where he's in the jail cell and slaps the water off the.
Yes.
But Equalizer, Equalizer
the
is
first Equalizer.
First
man.
Equalizer, dude.
Oh, so
The first one's
sick.
elite.
and
Yeah.
all of my mates will be like, "You're an idiot. It's not even in anyone's top 10. It is absolutely in my top 10, top
Yeah.
3."
What
Yeah.
about John Q? Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
oh,
Q.
Bit of an older one.
Yeah, where his daughter or something's dying from brain cancer and he just holds up the hospital hostage to get her surgery and shit.
Mate, he's got
No.
so many
He's got
classics.
so many. I know I
So
could name them
many.
all day.
Yeah.
So many. Yeah, shout out Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come on the pod, bro, feel free.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, beach or mountains?
Oh, that's a tough one. Spent a lot of time sleeping in the mountains.
You're a dog.
But I'd probably say the beach because it's more
And
relaxing.
hanging off the edge of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They've tried to kill me. The beach hasn't tried to
PTSD.
kill me
Yeah.
yet. So
Nice. Love it.
What do you think the biggest myth of the fitness industry is?
rest days.
Rest days?
Nice.
I'm not
Nice.
saying that you need that you don't need them. I'm just saying that like that dogmatic approach to health and fitness is unnecessary, and we need to actually have nuance behind the decisions and intent behind the decisions that we make in our health and fitness journeys.
Yes.
All right.
If you get offered a one-way ticket to anywhere in the world tomorrow, where you going? Even though you're already going everywhere. But that's all right.
Probably
If you could pick one of those spots.
Switzerland.
Sick.
Yeah, go on the Swiss Alps.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd
Amazing.
be cool.
I was so close to there. Went to Dolomites, so I'm on the border of it.
Dude,
but,
the Dolomites look unreal.
mate, if you get a chance, if you're near there.
Well, my intent is to hike from one side of the Alps to the other. So,
Yes, that hike looks insane.
Yeah,
I want to do that one day as
Yeah.
well. It's on my bucket
looks
list.
exceptional.
Which one person has inspired you the most?
Sounds like I've got like daddy issues, saying my old man.
No,
Like,
that's
No,
we had.
I was hoping you say your dad.
We actually, one of our friends said his dad as well. Andy said his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and it's purely because they're the biggest guy. Like as a bloke and as a kid growing up, you know, you look up to your old man and everything that they've done, and you hope to be half the man that they are, right?
100%, bro.
He's influenced me in so many ways, just in terms of mindset, training. You know, even the other day I was going for a walk with mum and dad, and he's dropped down and done 40 push-ups. And he's 60 something years old, just pumped out 40 push-ups. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, oh, every K Mum and I stop and I just pump out 40 push-ups. And I'm like, all right, setting the bar high.
Yeah, what a mad dog.
That'll be you, but that'll be you.
That's so good, man. And a great answer. Love that. Groaning in the gym while doing weights, yes or no?
Personally, no. I don't know. You see those guys.
Oh, I'm
like,
talking like,
it seems like they're trying to put on a show.
mate, there's one dude out at the mines that comes into gym, man. It's like the whole gym stops when he's doing his rep.
He wants him to
It's
look
crazy. I'll try to get like a selfie video for everyone. We'll put it on our
Dude,
story.
you have to. Go
Right,
on.
it is outrageous.
In saying that, I do make noises like Maria Sharapova when I'm boxing. Like every punch.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Don't they? Everyone
I
has
feel
a
like it
little
adds
sound.
5%.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're grunting that loud doing weights, like surely it makes it harder
I
to
would
do
think
the
so.
weights than. Do you know what I mean? Like
So
letting
much
out that-
energy when
Yeah.
you could just be putting that into the lift.
It's a huge no for me.
Yeah.
There's no point.
No, I
There's
agree.
no need. Like, what are you doing, dude? Fair enough for the odd deep breath or like blowout. Yeah, okay, you're working out.
blow out.
But you don't need to
like
be
an exhale.
groaning.
Like,
Yeah,
you-
breathing.
Yeah, like a, you know?
but like a yell. It's a bit like,
Yeah.
like settle
like a-
down.
This bloke's yelling, bro. It's outrageous.
That's good. One bucket list event you haven't ticked off yet.
Oh, to be honest, this trip that I'm about to go on has been on my mind for many years.
Yeah.
Like just traveling, learning, and building something like that's your own that you can share with everyone. That's
Yeah.
been the massive thing, and I'm living that out this year.
Yeah, so this will be your next bucket list
This
thing
is
this
the
year.
big bucket list thing.
Yeah.
Hey?
Go, bruh. Let's
Sick.
go. Nutella or Biscoff?
Biscoff.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Me too.
I
Me
love
too.
Biscoff so much.
Bro,
Yeah.
the Biscoff ice creams at some of these Gold Coast places are unreal.
Dude. And the cookies and shit. It's
Yeah, man. And I
It's
don't.
getting outrageous.
I don't
The
eat it
Biscoff's
often.
taken over the world, though.
It has.
Or Australia, at least.
Yeah.
It's came out of nowhere the last few years,
Yeah,
I
it's good to
reckon.
go.
Yeah, I always think now, like, why wasn't it a staple earlier?
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
were kids growing up.
Yeah, why was it
been
still
around for a
Nutella then?
Yeah.
And like jam and shit. Like, Mum, where's the fucking Biscoff? at,
Yeah,
dude?
Biscoff's just blown up.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, I was looking at like the sugar content and whatnot probably a few months ago now, going like, oh, but this is going to be like, way higher sugar than things like honey and whatnot. It's not.
What is really?
Yeah.
What like like Biscoff to say peanut butter or Nutella? What's the like peanut butter?
Peanut butter's high in fat,
Yeah,
whereas Biscoff tends to be like higher sugar.
higher in sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, even that, like, I'll have that like once a month or something like that.
Biscoff.
Treat myself to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that me?
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with any three people, dead, alive, or fictional, who would they be? And if you can't think of three, just give two or one.
So I actually put up a post about this probably like a month ago now, and it was like if you could choose 5 historical figures or anything like that. And so Michael Jordan was
Nice.
one,
Yep.
purely because I think he's what got me into sport and got to he global superstar.
He's the
right?
man.
He's the man.
He's the
The
man.
man. Mindset like no other.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali was on there as well, just because, the Rumble in the Jungle and, his arguably he's what got me into boxing.
Yeah.
And then I had this tear up between Genghis Khan and Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius. And it's like that'd be a pretty hot room.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people know about Genghis Khan, right?
That'd be
Everyone
cool
goes,
to chat with him.
oh, Alexander the Great, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar. Yeah, sure, they conquered a lot, but they didn't conquer anywhere near as much as Genghis Khan did.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's fathered like a stupid amount of people.
Yeah.
One of my best mates.
That's what I want to know. How many people have you fucked, dude? What's your...
We were at a
his
cafe
lineage.
the other day, and one of the boys like, "Oh, that's Genghis Khan's daughter." Shut up, dude.
Shut up, bro.
Dude, his so one of my good mates, Dux, he claims that he is a descendant
Of course.
of Genghis Khan. He's adamant. He's
Yeah.
like, I have this mark that like only people from Genghis Khan's lineage have. It's like, all right, Dux.
I might start claiming that,
Yeah.
Like, going like you're in a sports situation, just claiming Genghis.
Yeah, it's in my blood, dude.
Yeah. I don't even know much about the bloke, though. Did he do that much good? Because maybe you don't want to
No.
be claiming.
So,
No,
like,
You don't really want to be claiming that he did some fucked up
No,
shit.
and you
didn't he?
probably don't want him at a dinner party because he'll probably kill everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Based off
Okay.
history.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he would do like, not to get into a history thing right now, but
Yeah.
he would do things like he would marry off like all of his daughters to the kingdoms around Mongolia and a bit around his empire, with the local leaders, son or something from that region. And then once they were married, he would send their sons to the front line so that his lineage would survive. His daughter would have control of that kingdom, and hopefully the son would die, and then he wouldn't have to worry about that bloodline because he's got his bloodline now in that place. Yeah, but like master
Cheeky.
tactician, took over many forces and or a lot of territory through just brutal tactics, but smart tactics, often with much smaller forces. He would have like his soldiers would be riding on horseback, and they would have 3 horses each so that they could cover much further distances. They would put dummies on the back of these horses so it looked like his army was 3 times the size. Super smart things.
Smart for his time.
Nighttime
For his
they would-
time, yeah.
For his time, they would light campfires. Each of his soldiers would light 2 to 3 campfires. So at nighttime, it looked like their army was massive. So the other army would give up, surrender. Like just
Wow.
yeah, super smart.
I've
And
been loving history lately, like just looking back in time
Finding
and shit
stuff
like that.
fascinating.
Like that's showing a bit of age, isn't it? Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
you get to a point where you become a history fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Mate, if you could go on any TV show, what would it be?
I don't know.
Haven't thought of it.
No.
I'd pick you as a Survivor type. Like,
Or Amazing Race,
Or
dude.
Amazing Race.
Amazing
Yeah.
Race would be fun.
Yeah.
There's that. What's that show where? So 2 things. There's that show
Married
where.
at First Sight or something.
No, God.
Farmer Wants a Wife.
Yeah. There's that one where they have to like escape and evade for.
Oh, the SAS one?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
but they're in like everyday society. I think they filmed it in Melbourne. And it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they have
I
people
haven't
hunting
watched this, but I've heard about it. It actually sounds so sick. And if they get to that thing without being caught, they win $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
have you heard
how
about
much
this
fun
show?
would that be?
No, I
Yeah.
haven't heard of it.
So they've got like an actual, I think, SAS team. Like you're in pairs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You've got like no phone, no nothing, and you get dropped somewhere. And say you've got like 5 days to get to the MCG, but you can't be seen. And
Or
like you have to
captured.
get there without being captured. So like people will be like rocking up to like randoms' houses and sneaking in and using their phones or like just all this like sus shit to try and get there without being caught. But you've got like the actual SAS after you. It
Wow.
actually looks like a pretty cool show.
Because they do that in Australia's Special Air Service Regiment in their training continuum in the reinforcement cycle, which is what they do is once they pass selection, they go on the reinforcement cycle and then they're in the unit. One of theirs is a module like that where they're in Perth CBD and stuff like that, and they're having to meet up with contacts and escape capture and things like that.
You're essentially on the run. Like
Yeah.
you're on the run. and you
Yeah,
can't be
that sounds
caught.
fun.
And if you get to the destination, you win $1 million.
I'm about it.
Yeah. But I'm also of the firm belief that if given the opportunity, I could write the world's best zombie apocalypse TV series or movie. So there's also, that's a competing priority there. as well.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I love that. We have a question that we ask every guest now. It's one we're hoping our guests can gain a little bit of inspiration out of each guest we have. And it is if you can tell your younger self one bit of
Advice.
What is it?
I think everyone looks for like super inspirational stuff to say here.
And it doesn't have
and
to
it
be.
doesn't have to be, mate,
yeah,
doesn't it?
but
Like
you know,
what naturally comes to your head.
well, I have it written on the shirt here. Consistent persistence is like so much of what I've achieved, and the things I've failed at, and then worked out how to improve upon, and then come back and actually succeed at, has been because of consistent persistence. It's just like consistently showing up, doing the boring things on repeat, day after day after day, and then you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
If you just consistently persist with things and have intent behind what you're doing, you will be successful.
Simple but great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unreal, bro.
Yeah.
Sick.
Unreal. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. It's been an
Guys,
absolute
thank
blast
you so
having
much
you.
for having me and letting me yap.
No,
Alright.
absolutely. Just quickly wanted to shout out Coastal's, our drink sponsor, and Shane Castle for having his art on the walls. And then we'll have like all of Dan's links in the show notes, hey, for
Yes.
for everyone to be able to find all your stuff.
Cool.
100%.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks so
Thanks
much
again,
for
man.
having me,
Mate, he's going to get around this run over in Mexico, is it?
Yeah, New Mexico.
New Mexico. Get around him, raising money for a really good cause.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, Keen to see you next year in your journey.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Biz.
coming
Thanks,
on,
guys.
brother.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, guys.